So propylene contains 14.3% hydrogen and 85.7% carbon, and we know it has a molar mass of 42.08 grams. So we want to know its molecular formula. So we need a couple pieces of information here in order to do this. So first of all, we need to know its empirical formula. So that's what we're going to figure out first. And then once we have that, we can take a ratio of the empirical and molecular formula. So we can do the molecular mass over the empirical mass to give us this value of N. So we'll know what factor we need to multiply our empirical formula by to get to the molecular formula. So let's begin. Just like we did in the previous examples, we're going to find the empirical formula for this propylene by assuming we have 100 grams of the compound. And that we have 14.3 grams of hydrogen and 85.7 grams of carbon. So let's come up with our conversion factors. So we know for every 1 mole of hydrogen, there's 1.008 grams of hydrogen. And if we multiply this across, we're looking at about 14.2 moles of hydrogen. Let's do the same thing for carbon. So every 1 mole of carbon has 12.01 grams of carbon. And by multiplying this across, we're going to get 7.14 moles of carbon. Now that we have both of these quantities in moles, we're just going to divide by the lower number of moles, which in this case is the 7.14. 4 moles, 7.14 moles. Of course, this is 1. You can kind of see from inspection this is 2. So now we know our empirical formula, and we know it to be CH2. So this is once again empirical. So once we have our empirical formula, we can find the molar mass of it and evaluate this expression here. So let's write down the expression, I guess. So once again, here's the molecular or molar mass over the empirical mass. So once again, we know this to be 42.08 grams from the given information. For our empirical mass, we just have to do the mass of carbon, which is 12.01 grams, plus 2 times the mass of hydrogen. So hydrogen is once again 1.008 grams. When you divide this through, you'll see that it equals 3. So that means we have to take our empirical formula, the CH2, and multiply the entire thing by 3 to get our molecular formula. So in the end, we're left with C3H6. So this is our molecular formula.